Good morning, sweetie. You doing okay? All right. So if you were listening to the scriptures this morning, and gosh, I hope you were listening. God has this wonderful way of taking His Word and bringing it to a place in your life and mine that is pointed and powerful and purposeful. And so from the unfolding of this dilemma that Solomon, this wise one, was struggling with in his life, through this godly, holy, inspired advice that Paul gives to us who belong to the kingdom to keep our minds, our hearts, our lives on things above, to this remarkable story that Jesus tells, this parable that He tells to give us a perspective in our lives that is essential for us, not simply for now, but for eternity, but for this morning, especially for now. As He brings this word to us, this word that reaches inside of each one of us, it's a word that's intended to change our hearts and minds in ways that only God can. And so this morning, as we come into His presence as His people, as we come eager for what God would bring to us, if we're His people, we're eager for what God would bring to us, what He brings has remarkable power and impact. I'm going to start in this way. I have an envelope in my hand this morning, and inside this envelope is a lottery ticket that I bought. I'm going to give it away today. If you would like to be the recipient of this lottery ticket, raise your hand. If you'd like, raise it high. If you want the lottery ticket, raise your hand. All right, there's a few brave souls out there. Well, that'll be easy enough. Let's ratchet it up a notch. I bought this lottery ticket that's inside this envelope this morning, and the lottery ticket, I know because I checked, is a winner. Not an empty piece of paper with a bunch of numbers. It's a winner. If you would like to be the recipient of this winning lottery ticket, raise your hand. Put them up high. Oh, there's pietism all over the place this morning, isn't there? Let's ratchet it up one more notch. So this lottery ticket that I bought is a winner. In fact, I checked, and it's worth $5,000. And I'm going to give it away this morning. If you would like to be the recipient of this $5,000 winning lottery ticket, raise your hand. Raise it high. I want to see. Really? And for those of you who couldn't raise your hand, what? Your arm's too weak or you're lying? Let's try it out. You know what that is, loved ones? It's the desire for more. It's something we all share to some degree. We want more because of what we see around us. You know this. We live in a world that outside is like this cornucopia of stuff, of things. And it tickles our sugar craving inside. We want because we see, and it seems like things would be better if we had, and so we'll look around at all the things that are around us on our TV screens, and as we open up magazines and our computer screen, and every store we walk into, and some other people's houses, and every place we turn, there is this more. And so our sugar craving, we want more. I'll give you one of mine, you have yours. This is just one of mine. I'm a car guy. Oh my gosh. As a pastor, I drive around quite a bit. Part of my time, eating up time sitting in the car, is I'll watch cars, SUVs, pickups, especially new ones. My wife would tell you I give her a running commentary of what kind of vehicle it is and how much I think it would cost, followed by how much I wish I had one. That's mine. Think about yours. We want more, loved ones, because it's all around us. It's what we see. Even more. You and I, we want more because we fall for the lie. This is the lie. Listen to it. That if I have more, whatever that entails, if I have more, I'll be more happy, I'll be more content, my life will be better, I'll be more filled, I'll be more complete. Oh gosh, if I could just have more. Now as you listen to the preacher say that out loud this morning, it sounds bad, doesn't it? Say amen. But that is all of us. It is the lie that the world tells over and over and over again. And every single one of us, because we are limited, sinful human beings, we fall for the lie. I want you to understand something this morning. This has nothing to do with how much you already have or how little you have. This is about that itch inside of us as human beings for what we think will make life better for us. And so there is this ongoing itch, this craving, this wanting in your life and mine for more. You know what God calls it? He calls it foolish. This one who is wisdom incarnate says to us this morning through his word, to each one of us, this longing, this wanting more, it is foolish, which is a word that carries a great deal of weight. What Jesus is saying is that it's empty, it's vacuous, it's sinful. It is something that will only harm us, hurt us, tear us apart, destroy us as his people. Jesus says it is foolish. And if you're like your pastor, and I suspect you are, we can't seem to stop ourselves. I wonder if we get old enough, if we ever reach the point where we're saying, oh no, I don't want more. I'm good with what I have. I just wonder if that's true. But for most of us here this morning, the vast majority, guess what? We're not there yet. And so this word from Jesus is an important one for us. He calls it foolish, empty, vacuous. It will never fill us up, nor complete us, nor give us joy, nor happiness, or any of the above, in spite of what the world promises. So this is his medicine for us. First, the reminder that we're not here to be gatherers. Listen to it. God didn't put you and I in the world or call us into the kingdom to be his children so that we would spend our lives desiring to, wanting to, and working at gathering, piling up, making more, having more, getting more. When he brought us into the world and then into the kingdom as his people, he never intended that the content of your life and mine, the most of the time of our lives, the focus of our lives, the energy of our lives would be poured into longing for, wanting, and then working toward more. So he reminds us this morning, are you listening? He reminds us we are not here as his children to be gatherers. And second, that poverty and wealth are a matter of the heart. Listen to it carefully. Poverty and wealth are not what the world defines it to be. It has nothing to do with what's out there in your life and mine. It is always a matter of the heart. Whether we are poor or whether we are rich, is measured by what we are inside as people. What we hold in our hearts and our souls and our lives in a way that is meaningful and purposeful in our living. Whether we are rich or poor is a matter of the heart. If you came this morning and you have more than you can spend in 2 lifetimes, I'll say good on you. But it doesn't tell me anything about what's inside of you. If you came this morning and you spent most of last night not being able to sleep for fear that you're not going to have enough to pay the bills or take care of yourself or whatever it is, I'll just say to you, sorry about that, but it has nothing to do with what's inside of you. And whether you're really poor or really rich, I'll say it again. Jesus is telling us poverty and wealth are a matter of the heart. That's his medicine for us. And I want you to hear this morning, that medicine reaches you and I only through Jesus. We'll never figure it out on our own. We'll certainly never hear it from the world we live in. It's only this one who came to make us his own, who can speak this word in a way that reaches past our ears, into our minds, sinks down into our souls, into the very essence of who we are. This medicine. So let's go further. This morning, his medicine for your and my desire for more also comes in what the Lord shares with us. You see, he pours into our lives. He fills us with real riches. Today, as he speaks his word and shares his meal, as he talks to each one of us out of his love and concern and kindness toward us as his children, he's filling up our hearts and souls with the forgiveness and peace and life that he's won. And listen to this, that means our cups in our lives, where it really matters, start to overflow with joy and hope and assurance. In here, listen, in here, Jesus makes us rich in ways the world can't, in ways that we can't do for ourselves. He simply speaks this word, this powerful, creating, recreating word. And it comes with this abundance. And that fills us with joy and peace and abidingness in him that is assuring and deep and rich for us. Real wealth. And you know what? As he does that, he is loosening our grip on the transient. As Jesus fills you and I up inside as his loved children, today, in this place, in this hour, he's also taking our hands and our minds and our hearts that hold so tightly to the things of this life that aren't going to last. And he's helping us loosen our grip. Because you see, if we're full in here, then the longing for the stuff out here gets smaller and smaller. We start to really understand and live in the reality that this is temporary. This isn't going to last. I'm not carrying it with me to glory. It's not going to give me joy. It's not going to make me feel complete. It's not going to give me happiness. It is the riches inside that matter. And as I learn that, you learn it, we learn it as his children. He's prying our fingers away from that which is transient. It's just the kind of doctoring we need. You know, a lot of us came here this morning, maybe most of us, we didn't even think we were sick, not in this way. Probably if you thought about it at all this week or this morning, this Sunday morning, you walked into church, you weren't thinking, man, that's a place in my life that the Lord really needs to deal with. Well, listen, as I'm thinking about this morning coming, and this word being shared, it's striking me how much of my life I spend on this very thing. Wanting more. It's kind of like the Lord saying to me, Jim, really? Maybe you too. It is this sin sickness that is part of our humanity. Always wanting more. So this is how the Lord deals with it. He helps you and I as his beloved children to see that for what it is and how harmful it is to us. And then today he gives us his riches. That's his medicine for our desire for more. I'm done preaching now. If you would rise, please. And let's join together in confessing our Christian faith in the words of the Nicene Creed. I believe in one God, the Father Almighty, maker of heaven and earth, and of all things